Hey gorgeous, welcome back to Life in Style. Today's video is going to be a tutorial, kind of get ready with me on this look that you see right here using the gorgeous brand new Saharan 2 palette from Juvia's Place. I got this a few days ago and actually wanted to film and could not, so I'm like, I have to get in front of the camera because I am dying to put together a look with this palette. It is absolutely gorgeous, as all of their palettes are. The quality is unsurpassed. It's just consistent all the time. I never pass up an opportunity to get a new Juvia's Place palette. So we are going to go into this look right here, and I hope it's something that you enjoy. So as usual, in the spirit of saving some time, I went ahead and did one eye, and I also already primed the other. For primer today, I've used the Essence I Love Stage eyeshadow primer, which I have been using a lot lately. If you've seen any of my more recent videos, I've been using this a lot, but I really do love it. And then to set the primer, I used my Milani Bella eyeshadow in Bella Cappuccino. I love this shade because it basically is almost like my skin shade, and once I put it on, it just sets the primer perfectly, but I don't add any extra color on my eyelid. It just is one shade and it's closest to my skin tone. I also did the tight lining up at the top, and for that I used the L'Oreal Infallible Matte eyeliner pencil that I was talking about the other day. I've used this a few times and I do really like it. So to start off, we are going to dip into the beautiful Saharan 2 by Juvia's Place, and I'm going to start with this shade right here, which is kind of an orangey, like a burnt orange, and it's called Taza. I'm going to be picking that up with my E40 tapered blending from Sigma, and I'm going to start carving out my crease. As you can see on this eye, I have brought the shadow really far over, but I'm always going to clean up under the eye. I always do my eye first, so I'm not too worried about that. I wanted a specific shape, so that's why I brought it out so far out. Then I'm going to dip into the shade Zora, which is this beautiful kind of brick red. I'm not sure if the camera is really doing it justice, but it is absolutely beautiful. And I am going to be picking that up with Juvia's Place J127 Precision, which is just a smaller, fluffy brush. And what I'm doing with this is just putting it in the crease and concentrating that color in the crease for now, and then I'll move it around just a bit. And again, just like the other side, I brought it down quite a ways. I wouldn't obviously leave it that way, but I always clean up and use the wipe to kind of shape the shadow, so I just wanted to bring it out a little more. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to grab a flat synthetic brush. You can use the MAC 242, I believe, or any flat synthetic brush that you have. And this one I have is from Avon, actually, and I just like it because it's flat. Also, the rest of my brushes are drying because I needed to do a very big brush wash, so I did that today. I am going to grab my MAC Fix Plus. I'm going to wet the brush. And then I'm going to dip into Nomad, which is the middle shimmer shade right here. And as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm starting in the inner corner, and then I'm going to start bringing that color to the middle of the lid. Now, I will say that this color is kind of applying a little bit patchy. And I own all of the Juvia's Place, or almost save one, palettes, so I've used these shadows quite a few times, and they have a lot of shimmers, but I find that, and I don't know if it's just my eye, like the lid, or the actual shade, but it feels like it's skipping in some parts, so I'm not sure what that is, but I did get a little bit of that on the other side as well. So I'm not bringing it all the way to the outer corner because I'm going to use a matte color there, but I am bringing it out close to the end of the eye right here, but not all the way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up that same brush. I'm going to wet it again with my MAC Fix Plus, and I am going to dip into Marrakesh, which is this shimmer up here. It's kind of peachy. I just wanted to brighten this up a bit because the first thing I'm thinking is, Jesus, not another warm look. So I just wanted to do a little something different, and popping this on top of that like wine shimmer color, it just really works. Then I'm just going to grab my Sigma E40 and I'm just going to blend that just a bit up top. I don't want to go too deep into the color, just at the very top to make sure that that's blended. And then I'm going to go back into Marrakesh, which is the peach shimmer, and I am just going to kind of pat it in the inner corner and just out a bit, because I want it to mirror what this eye is doing, and it's a little more peachy than this eye is. So I'm going to pick up that dark brown and I'm just going to pack it on the corner of the eye. I'm not even going to tap off the excess. I want this brown to be as dark as I can get it. And because I've already done the other eye, I've noticed that it's not as dark as I would like it. So I want to pack it on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting it into the position where I want it. And so I'm doing the outer V, and then I'm just bringing it a little bit above the crease. Then once I get the placement down, I am going to grab a fluffy brush, and I usually grab my Sedona Lace EB13. It has no color on it, and I'm just going to start blending that out. I got quite a bit of fallout, but I knew that was going to happen because, like I said, I was just going to pack on that brown without worrying about the fallout because I'm going to clean it up anyway. So all I'm doing here is just making sure that this eye matches this eye, because sometimes we put the placement differently, blend it differently, and it just ends up not looking the same. So I want to make sure that they kind of mirror each other so that the look is cohesive. I'm going to go back in and blend. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into that Zora shade, which is the red shade, and I'm going to go back into the crease because I just want to make sure that that color is there and noticeable. I'm going to then go into the Magic palette by Juvia's Place, and I'm going to go into Nana, which is a light brown, just to buff out the top of this eye. That's what I did on the other eye as well. We don't have a shade like this in the Saharan 2, so I wanted to get something that I thought would blend out the top of this look really well. Then while I'm in this palette, I'm going to go into Kessie. This thing is so big it just covers the camera, which is the white in the corner there, and I'm going to use that color to highlight the brow bone. So now it's time for me to clean up under the eyes, and then we're going to go ahead and start on the face. And then I've got a pop of color to put under the eyes. This is something that when I got the palette, I was kind of thinking about, because like I said, the colors tend to kind of lean towards warm, but you do have a really nice bunch of pops of color, so I wanted to add that into the look. So I used my simple micellar water wipes just to clean up under the eyes. I also did my winged liner, and for that I used my Maybelline EyeStudio in Blackest Black. So we're going to go ahead and finish off the rest of the face. For primer today, I'm going to use my Dr. Brandt Pores No More. Really love this primer because it's a mattifying primer. And although it looks like it's flesh colored, it just disappears into the skin beautifully. It feels matte and not drying to the skin, but just feels like it dries down really nicely to kind of blur your pores. For corrector today, I'm going to use my Urban Decay Naked Skin. And you guys know, if you've watched my tutorials, that I really do love this corrector. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to grab my Real Technique sponge, and I am just going to press that into the skin. For foundation today, I'm going to grab a favorite of mine. It's the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum. I've used this a lot on my channel. This is actually my second bottle. And I've talked about this foundation a lot because it is just so beautiful. Like there's just not enough good things that I can say about this foundation. It's just amazing. It looks great on the skin. It looks so flawless. And I think I paid maybe $12 for this. You do have to order it on Amazon if you live in the States. They no longer sell it here, but it is so worth it. And I have Prime anyway, so I get it in 2 days. You know, shipped to me and delivered in 2 days, which is great because I want to know that I can get it rather quickly. Then for concealer today, I'm going to be using my LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is in the shade Warm Honey. Then I'm just going to use the damp beauty blender to press that into the skin and blend it out. Now I'm going to set the concealer under my eyes, and for that I'm using my Anastasia Banana Powder today. I'm using the Juvia's Place J123 tapered brush. It's supposed to be for blush, but I don't like the way it's shaped. So I will use that under the eye sometimes to set the concealer because I like the pointed end so I can get up perfectly right up to the lash line. Then to set the rest of my face, I am going to be using my Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. It is a teeny tiny one. If you saw my most recent haul video, I got this in a set for like a 500 point perk at Sephora, and I ordered it because I have never used it, have been dying to use it, but because a lot of people sometimes say it leaves you with a little bit of white cast, I didn't want to spend the amount of money for the large size or the regular size because it's not a cheap product. I am in love. I am in absolute love with this product. I've used it a few times already, and it's funny because I'm like using it and I'm talking to myself in the mirror like, I see you, Laura Mercier, I see you, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So I cannot wait to get the bigger size, but for now, this will do. And I'm just going to put some into the cap. Not a lot comes out, and I don't know if they tried to pack it in here too tightly because it's a small one, and there's only 3 holes, so I really have to kind of tap it, as you can hear, to get the powder out, but it's worth it because I love it. To apply the powder, I'm going to be using my Real Techniques blush brush. Again, a brush that's made for blush, and I use it for powder just because I don't like too much the shape of the way this brush is for actual blush. The thing I love about this powder is it says translucent, and it really is translucent. It just goes on the skin and completely disappears, but sets everything really nicely. So we're going to finish off the bottom of the eyes. And like I said, for that, I'm going to do a little bit of a brighter look down there, or a brighter color, just to add a little bit of interest to it. I'm going to zoom you in just a bit so you can get a better sense of what I'm doing. And what I had in mind when I looked at the Saharan 2 palette was to use Berber, which is this blue right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to go on the lash line, or as close to the lash line as I possibly can get, basically to outline my eyes. And then I'm going to use the blue from the Magic palette to buff that out again, just to add a little more interest and a nice pop of color. So I'm going to grab my flat definer E15 from Sigma. I'm going to go ahead and pick up Berber, and then I'm just going to get that on the lash line. And then with no color on the brush, I am going to take the Morphe E36, which is the brush that I use to buff out any color on the bottom lash line. And I'm just going to buff that out just a bit on the bottom to start kind of spreading it down a bit. And to be honest, I wasn't sure what this color was going to look like without adding something else to it. I actually like it just like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my flat definer and I'm going to go back over that with the same color to just kind of make it pop a little more. And then I will just smoke it out a little darker in the corner. But overall, I really, really like this shade. I think it just brings something gorgeous to the look and just really makes it pop. Then I'm going to take the E36 again and I'm going to buff that out again just at the bottom, not really going in to the color itself because I don't want to take it away, but I just want to buff it out at the bottom to make sure that there are no harsh lines. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the Magic palette and I am going to go into this color right here, which is I believe it is. This is almost like a blackish blue. This one right here is more of a blue than the one that I'm going to use, but I want something a little darker just for the corner. I'm going to pick up the flat definer again because I just want a little more precision, and then I will buff that out. Now, as you can see, I'm being very deliberate as to where I'm putting it, and the flat definer helps me do that. It doesn't have to be a Sigma flat definer. It could be anything. Morphe, e.l.f., Wet n Wild, whoever makes a flat definer. I always love using this brush for the bottom because I think it just keeps everything where you want it. Then I'm going to go back in with the E36, and I'm just going to buff that out and make sure there's no harsh lines and that it's really nice and smoked out. And then for the inner corner, because I just want to kind of stay with this theme of all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is a warm look, and it's like, pow, look at the bottom of my eyes. I am going to go into Aziza, which is this gorgeous white right here. It is a shimmer, which I'm absolutely fine with, and I am going to use that to highlight the inner corner. To contour and bronze at the same time, I'm going to go into my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I am going to grab my BH Cosmetics 114 brush, which is kind of a slanted brush. Really been favoring this brush lately. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the middle and the darker shade, and I'm just going to warm up the skin. For blush today, I'm going to dip into the Saharan Blush Palette Volume 2 from Juvia's Place. No, this video is not sponsored. I have purchased every single thing you've seen here in this video with my own money. Just sometimes when I have a lot of products from the same brand that I really like, I'll try to kind of incorporate it into the video. So I just thought that this was a really good video to do that with because I have a lot of Juvia's Place stuff. So for the brush, I'm going to be using my Morphe E4, which is a slanted brush. I am going to pick up my favorite color from this palette, which is B right here, and then we're going to get that on the cheeks. I absolutely love this color on the cheeks. It is just so beautiful, so subtle, but you can build it up to the intensity that you want. So for highlight today, I'm going to be using my Wet n Wild highlighting bar. This is the one with the Mermaid that came out not too long ago. It has like the mermaid scales and stuff. I haven't used this yet, so I thought that today's video would be a good time to do so. So I'm going to pop on some false lashes and then I'll come back so that we can finish off the lips because it's sometimes a struggle for me, so I don't want to get lipstick all over my face. So I'll be back in just one moment. So I put on some false lashes and I'm using my Velour see-throughs, which are my favorite. Absolutely love them. I also tight lined on the bottom of the eyes, which I had forgotten to do on camera. And for lips today, I am going to be using one of my favorite combinations from Gerard Cosmetics. For the lip pencil, it's going to be in Cher, and then I'm also using the Hydra Matte Liquid Lipstick in Cher. Again, I've talked about this a lot on my channel. Absolutely love the formulation of the Gerard Cosmetics liquid lipsticks, the matte ones, and Cher is just my favorite color, so I just absolutely love using this. And I always fill in my lips when I line them, because I know in the past the thing has been just to line the lips and put the lipstick on, but if the lipstick starts fading after a while, you still have some sort of color underneath, so it doesn't look so prominent with just like a line around your lips. So I'm going to go in, like I said, with the Hydra Matte Liquid Lipstick in Cher. So that does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the look. I absolutely enjoyed putting it together. Anytime I get a new Juvia's Place palette, it just kind of gets the floodgates open with so many possibilities for looks, because the palettes from Juvia's Place are absolutely gorgeous. This one did not disappoint. Absolutely love the quality of the shadows that I dipped into. I never ever have a doubt that these shadows are going to be great. This is a company that has consistently put out some of the very best shadows that are available on the market today, and also at a wonderful, wonderful price. Like I said, whenever they say they're gonna sell a new palette, whether it's pre-order or just regular, I am always on it, because it's just unsurpassed. Every single palette that I've gotten from them has just been gorgeous and wonderful quality. And even the shimmers that I said kind of looked like they were skipping a bit, kind of settled in there and really don't look like, you know, there's any of the color missing. So that just may have been while I was applying it, but looking at it now, it absolutely looks gorgeous. There's no, like, you know, peek throughs for my skin. The color is on there beautifully. So again, any Juvia's Place product that comes out, I'm on it, because they are just consistent with the quality of their shadows. Price is on point, and everything is just great about their products. So again, thank you so much for watching and spending a few moments of your day with me. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also click that little bell so you get alerted as to whenever I upload new videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.